Hey guys, George of course. I know I haven't posted in a while. I've had a lot of shit going on in my personal life that takes a lot of energy to deal with. I'm making this video to kind of explain a little bit of that. So in the past 3 months, I've been trying to juggle school, college. I've been struggling with a relationship that, not in a bad way, but it takes a lot to kind of it takes a lot to put your all into when you're trying to focus on so many things and so many different things are happening. I've gone through 2 sets of roommates, literally. And they all ended fucking nasty. They ended up nasty. The last pair freaked out because just kind of changed his mind on everything, so started kind of freaking out. And then this new pair I thought was awesome. I was cool as shit about it. Happy, they seemed nice. And then this one guy, there was 2 guys that moved in, and one guy was kind of creepy. We were kind of sitting there like thinking like, I don't know about this one guy. He's kind of weird, tall, walks quietly, and just kind of creeps about, quiet, talks like this, what's going on, real quiet, just kind of sketchy. And so, lived with us for about a week. Him and this other guy who I thought was really awesome, really cool guy. And so one day he's moving stuff in, and the one guy that we were kind of hesitant about, and he was kind of weird, but he had his friends come over and help him move in. Cool as shit, right? Right. Well, this girl came in that was helping him, and this guy. Now, he didn't introduce me to the girl, didn't introduce me to the guy. I shook the guy's hand, hey George, nice to meet you. And shook the girl's hand, George, nice to meet you. He didn't say a word about this couple. These people were a couple. Literally, they were so together, it's unbelievable. They drove together, all over each other kind of thing. Not like that, but, you could tell these people were a couple. And, one of us, not me, but one of my other roommates, I think, actually said, how long have you guys been married? And they said, oh, we're not married. We've just been dating so long, whatever. To the couple that walked in to help this guy move in. Long story short. So, we're having a little party. We're cooking. We're having a good time, hanging out, drinking, And this guy, he's helping me. I don't know how to cook for shit, so he's helping me prepare. I was cooking, I think it was fish. I was cooking fish, and I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I can't cook for shit, so just letting everybody know that. And I could barely cook like Velveeta on the stove without burning the house down. So I wanted to do something nice. I wanted to cook something, and I wanted to be able to say, oh, I did this, So he's helping me out. He's this real country guy, so he knows how to cook. He cooks deer and stuff. And I'm not. I'm like a city boy, but. So he helps me, and we're hanging out, we're playing music, we're playing beer pong, we're just hanging out, having a good time, I thought. And so one of the roommates and I were talking, like, hey, that's not his girlfriend, right? And he said that to me, and I said, no way. Not in a mean way, I didn't mean it in a mean way, but, it's clear that she's with this other guy, right? Well, so the night went on, everything was perfect, right? So the next day, I got into an argument with one of the other roommates. Not a bad one, just, shit happens. Stupid little argument. And these 2 new roommates got really involved. Kind of inserted themselves and just kind of started really going off on me. And so obviously the roommate that I was arguing with and we squashed it. We kind of shook hands and stuff. And, both parties apologized. I apologized. She apologized. And so long story short, she comes up to me and she's like, so this guy, the guy that's moved in, he's been there about a week now, wants to talk to you. And I said, about what? That's cool. Good. I'd love to, talk to him. She says, well, he said that you came up to him and said that you wanted to have sex with his girlfriend. I'm like, what? He's saying that I came up to him this is what this guy said. George, came up to me, him, the roommate, and said, "Hey, I want to fuck your girlfriend." I didn't even know he had a girlfriend. None of us, all of us, nobody knew he had a girlfriend. His Facebook says single. He's on Tinder. Why would I think you have a girlfriend? So, long story short, I text him. I'm like, he's in the other room. I didn't want to, because I'd be pissed if somebody said that about, a girlfriend. And especially someone that I considered a friend, I'd be pissed. So, I texted him. I said, "Hey, you want to talk?" And he's like, "Yeah, you want to either talk to, you're either going to talk to myself, him, and the other roommate, or nobody, because I don't want to talk to you." So I'm like, "Well, the other roommate just said you wanted to talk to me. What's going on?" So, long story short, he comes out, and I'm trying to talk to him. I said, I don't want any hostility. I just want to clear the air on this. I didn't say that. So, he comes out, and he says, "You came up to me the other day and said, hey, man, I'd fuck your girlfriend." And I'm like, and this guy's acting crazy. He's kicking shit. I'm kind of scared. I'm a little dude, man. I can't, I'm not going to be able to put in much work with these two diesel-ass dudes. One's like 6'8", and like 240 pounds. The other one's like 6'6", and like $180. I'm like $180 and 5'4". I'm exaggerating. I'm not 5'4". But, so I'm like, either way, we're roommates. I don't want to square up with my fucking roommates. I want to be cool, apologize for whatever I did, and move on. But he said, it's not fucking cool that you said you'd screw my girlfriend. I'm like, dude, no disrespect. I didn't know you had a girlfriend. How could I say that? He's like, "You said it. I was right there." And he's like, "That's why I had to leave," because he left the party. We were little gather thing we were having, and they both went out to some girl's house or something. Whatever, cool. So I didn't know anything that was wrong, and they said, "Well, why do you think we left you the other day?" I'm like, "Because you went to a girl's house," proving to me that you're, giving me more evidence that you don't have a girlfriend. Whatever. So then he's like, "I want to beat your ass." I'm like, "You don't have to do that," and I'm getting kind of pissed now. I'm like, I'm trying to talk to you like a normal human being, and you're threatening to beat my ass. I was like, why don't we just cool off, take a minute, and talk like adults, please? And he starts getting in my face, "We don't talk down south. Down south, we fuck people up." And I'm just like, trying to like get myself out of this. I'm not trying to fight my roommates, man. And it sucks because I like these dudes. So even more the reason, even if they weren't my roommates, I would try to avoid a fight. And so they just kind of keep going. One of them's just standing there like a bodyguard, and making little side comments. But I ignored that because this particular roommate I liked a lot. I thought he was cool as shit, like really stand-up guy. And so this guy's circling me, talking his head off, screaming. The one that's quiet, which is really weird. So I'm like, put this all aside. I said, let's put our feelings aside for a second. And they were like, "All right, what?" And I said, "Look how you're acting now. No offense, you're acting violent, you're kicking things, you're screaming, you're threatening, you're doing all sorts of violent things." I said, "If I went up to you and said, 'Hey, I want to screw your girlfriend,' what makes anybody in this room," there was like 4 of us sitting there, I said, "what makes anybody in this room think that you wouldn't beat my ass then?" I mean, that's a perfect reason to beat somebody's ass. If I go up to you and say, "Hey man, your girlfriend's a dime, I'd nail her," you beat my ass. And you know what I'd probably do is sit there with my arms behind my back, because honestly, if I say that, I deserve to get my ass beat. I'm a piece of crap. I'm a scumbag, but I didn't do that. So, and the bodyguard roommate was kind of like you can tell, he made a face like that kind of made sense. But for some reason, he was taking this guy's side, and knowing that I didn't, they both know I didn't say that. But I was trying to like pretend that, I don't want to be like, "You're lying." So I was trying to pretend, worst case scenario, that it could be true. So I was trying to say, "Listen, if I said that, you'd beat my ass. Rightfully so. But I didn't say that." So, all that shit happened. And then they started chasing me around there's a little island in our house. This dude starts chasing me around, and I'm trying not to get in a fight. I don't want to get my ass beat. I don't want to beat anybody else's ass. I don't like violence. I try to move it along. So I'm like running around the circle, and they're both blocking me off. And one of them, the quiet one's like, "You're not going anywhere, dude. We're going to beat your ass because you got two of us." And I'm like, I can't stand a chance against one of you giant motherfuckers. Two of them, I can't do that. So I'm just trying to avoid it. So it just became a conundrum, and it's stressing me the hell out. And that's one of the biggest reasons I haven't posted. And I'm thinking about how to post it, how to talk about it, because I use this platform to kind of talk about, problems in my life and problems in life itself. So I was just offended, and I even wrote, and I didn't even do anything wrong, and I wrote an apology to the one that I liked. I didn't write an apology to the one that started this whole thing, but it's just weird. And then he's like, "I've been dating this girl for 6 years." I'm like, then why are you looking for a bunch of dudes to room with? Because we just got this guy, and he said, I left this terrible situation where my other roommates had drug problems. Whatever. I'm not going to use any names. I don't want to get in trouble if anybody ever sees this. And I'm like, why wouldn't you move in with your girlfriend that you should have proposed to a year ago? And we're adults. We're not, junior high school or anything. We're adults. You date somebody for 6 years and you don't propose, that girl should leave. But he's single on his Facebook. She's single on her Facebook. It just doesn't make sense to me. And then it doesn't make any sense. And I tried calmly. I was like talking to the saner of the two insane roommates. And I said, "Listen, man," I said, I don't want any problems here, but I was like, "You got to think." I said, "Just give me 2 seconds to explain to you why this is crazy." He's like, "All right, go ahead." And I said, "He's acting violent now because he thinks," this was 4 days later, "he's acting violent out of nowhere because he thinks I told him that I would screw his girlfriend." Why would he not beat my ass when I said it, if I said it? And he made a face like, that's a true point. There's no reason we should be beefing at all. That's what bugs me, man. It's like, and the bigger picture is that when I make friends, I have this problem where I go too far and try to be like the best friend I could be. The most trustworthy person you'd ever meet, ever. Male or female, I am the most trustworthy person I've ever met. Ever. And, so I like, it's not that I try to buy people at all, because, but I try to do a lot of nice things. Like our last roommates, man, I went out and bought them a $350 NutriBullet. Because I got to know, what they're into and stuff like that. And they're obviously into, health and eating green and things like that. So I was like, they don't have a NutriBullet. So I went out and bought a very expensive NutriBullet just to say, hey, welcome to our house. I hope we could be good friends. And this one, I just, I didn't want to go that far and go out and buy something like that, because that kind of sometimes makes a bad, situation. So I didn't want to do that. But I was just super nice. Hey, if you guys need anything at Walmart, I'm going, so on and so forth. And so I just, like every time I tell this to people, they're like, "Well, what did you do?" I'm like, nothing. I think about it, and I'm being honest. I literally didn't do anything. Nothing at all. This guy is we should have trusted our instinct when he was moving in, because it's caused nothing but a headache. And just the fact that he's upset about something he completely made up. I mean, there's no possible way that even if I did think his girlfriend was hot, which the girl that we're talking about is a beautiful girl, there's no denying, but he's not dating her. And I didn't say I wanted to fuck her. At all. He's not even dating her. But I didn't say that. Nothing of that nature was even said about this young girl. At all. Nothing at all. So that's what made everybody kind of think he's insane. Because, there's no way they're dating. It's not just because she's out of his league, but it's also that she's single. It's 6 years, man. You're going to keep your relationship public. Or spend time together. This guy's at the house 6-7 days a week. He doesn't leave. He'll go out to a party or something, but then he's back right away. So how am I supposed to know you have a girlfriend? Even if I did say it about this girl, which I didn't, it shouldn't be a problem. You should say, hey, listen, that's my girlfriend. I'd be like, well, why are you on Tinder? What are you on Tinder for, you know? But that's the part that bugs me. There's no way I could have known. This dude talks about Tinder, that, saying I'm on Tinder, blah, 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 and I've got a date. That's what he said the other day. I've got a date Monday, I've got another date with someone else Tuesday, and I'm like, thinking to myself, cool, that's awesome. I said, that's awesome. Gave him a handshake and everything. Like, congratulations, that's awesome. You're doing well. And then he comes out of nowhere saying, this is my girlfriend of 6 years, who's dating another guy. It says she's single on the internet, but, well, actually, I think it's private. It doesn't say anything. But she, was totally dating this other guy. So it's just, I don't know. I feel bad, but at the same time, I feel bad for feeling bad because I really didn't do anything, and it just sucks how people treat me. I don't know what it is. I really don't know what I can do to convince people to like me. It sucks. It's just, that's my biggest failure, I guess, is trying to get people to like me and trying to keep friends and it just never working, ever. There's times I've done everything in the book of friendship that you need to do as a friend, and I just can't get it down. I think I have this anxious kind of personality because, losing friends and losing people left and right, I've gotten fights with my family, and I haven't talked to some of my family in months, a couple of years. That's just kind of traumatizing. So I've got like anxiety from it, and so like when I get friends, I get kind of like anxious about it. All my friends are drinking. I get weird when I drink because I'm not used to having friends near me and just spending time together and cooling and watching movies and just hanging out, beer pong. I used to when I was in high school, but man, it sucked because they were always like fair weather kind of, but like when they were down and they needed me, I'd be there. Silver bells, some of their family members were dying, I was there, or I was always trying to be there. A lot of times they wouldn't want me there even then, but just sucks. Nobody's ever there when I need somebody. And true friends I would give anything in the world for true friendship. Even a half of how I am as a friend, I would give anything I have for that. Anything. Kidney, any amount of money, I'd do anything. Anything. But they just, for some reason, don't like me. And maybe it's people mistake my kindness for weakness. Maybe my kindness is weakness, but I wanted to talk about this because it's been bugging me and I don't have a therapist. So, if anybody has any comments, suggestions on the friendship thing, on the roommate thing, anything, I'll take it. So, don't forget to subscribe. Leave a comment with your suggestion, please. And share your video with your friends, and if you relate to it, share it. And, tell your friends and be like me, It just sucks. I wish things were different. See you guys.